Part 2.
Holy shit. Did you know George Lucas was 71 years old? Jesus, I don't know how to think about that. Alright, anyway, let's be quick about this. I've got shit to do, you know. I can't spend all my time talking about Star Wars. So, let's ask that big question, is Episode 7 going to be good? So firstly, it's very clear that all of the actors involved with the new Star Wars are super excited about this movie, considering the footage I've seen from their interviews, and that right there, that is a very good sign. Mostly when a movie is being made and you see like the interviews with all the cast and the crew involved and they're like very clearly uninterested in what's going on, or they're getting really dumb questions or giving really dumb answers because no one is personally invested in any of it. Well, the cast and crew of Star Wars look so freaking happy to be making a new Star Wars. I mean, even Harrison Ford is able to keep his interest about the whole thing, and at this point he's just a crotchety old man, so that's an improvement right there. I mean, look at this thing they released from Comic-Con this year. Look at all the love and the passion going into this movie. Oh, God, I'm really afraid to get my hopes up. You've mistreated me too badly, Star Wars, but I just can't stay away from you. But an enthusiastic cast isn't everything, of course. You need more than just people enjoying themselves for a film to be good. You need a story to back it all up. Well, obviously, I can only go on what's been speculated and what's been provided based on the official trailers, but because breaking down a trailer is probably the most cliche thing on the internet, especially breaking down the Star Wars trailer... Fuck, you guys look like you're doing some sports commentary. Look, I like movies too, but I'm not gonna scrub through the trailers frame by frame just to see if I can catch a glimpse of Darth Plagueis' like penis or something, or how many characters from the Knights of the Old Republic are gonna show up wearing thongs. So instead, I'm going to go with my own conclusions based on everything people have pieced together, based on leaks and speculations and trailer analysis to put together what most likely the story is going to be. Very loosely, and how I feel about it. If you're trying to avoid all spoilers or anything even potentially close to that, you'd best walk away now. So here we go. The movie is probably going to start on the new desert planet Jakku. This is fine, of course. They wanted to capture the whole feel of Luke on Tatooine essence without feeling like they've just reused the same old tired stuff. This is actually a pretty good way to start the movie, frankly, because otherwise it'd start to feel like the prequels when they're trying to just throw old imagery into the movie simply because it's an iconic Star Wars planet. This way it's got the same emotional connections without, you know, sort of bashing us over the head with it. Here we're going to meet Daisy Ridley's character, Rey. Now, a lot of people speculate that she's going to be the daughter of Luke or Leia, and then by extension Han. Personally, while yes, this can work, I actually really hope this isn't the case. The idea that the whole continuation of the Skywalker lineage is going to be the whole plot of the new trilogy, and then that it's that important, is just kind of stupid. See, remember, Jedi ended pretty decently, right? And while there's still more to be had with this universe, there's still stories to be told, the whole Skywalker Chosen One prophecy bullshit, it's done. Okay, it's over. Luke and Anakin killed Palpatine and brought balance to the Force, mostly. The Skywalker story is finished. Luke is the wise old mentor now, and given that we've seen very little of him in the trailers or the posters, and that a lot of people are saying he's only going to be in the last act of the film, it looks like Luke actually got his spaghetti western ending. It's just now we didn't get to see it. So maybe Luke didn't have any kids, and frankly I can't really see Han Solo being a proper father. But whatever, they might be the kids, it's possible, it could be done right, but we'll just have to see. I might be disappointed if they do that and they do it poorly. So then we're probably going to meet John Boyega's character Finn, who at this point is probably a part of the New Order and a stormtrooper, and he later turns to the good side. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I really like the idea of the concept, though, of the New Order. See, the little bits of the now defunct expanded universe that are seemingly seeping back in and getting reused is the fact that after the destruction of the Empire and the second Death Star, the Empire would totally just keep going. seriously, like, it's not like it's just gonna stop. There's gonna be this, like, vacuum of power, and these small factions of the former Empire would battle for power, just like, you know, what would happen if a real Empire got broken up. The Empire in this universe was really big. There was no one to keep them in check. There's nothing to stop them from continuing to be in power. So the New Order makes sense. Whether they don't have the same reach of control that the Empire used to, and they're competing with the New Republic for power, or they're just as powerful as the Empire used to be, and that there's just been a shift in ideology, it doesn't matter. It makes logical sense, and it continues to give us a decent reason for a big force of power to oppose our heroes. So anyway, later Rey and Finn will meet on Jakku, and they'll either find Han Solo there, or it's possible Rey is somehow in possession of the Millennium Falcon already. I don't really know. Either way, all of these characters are gonna intervene at some point. And see, at this point, it's probably when Han will tell Rey and Finn about the legends of Luke Skywalker and the Jedi, and, you know, we've seen that in the trailer. It's actually okay, though, for this point, for the characters in this universe to be as nostalgic for those things as we are, because now it's been the same amount of time passed for them as it has for us. Those things become stories, so I'm totally cool with the whole, oh wow, the Jedi are so cool nostalgia stuff that we've seen in the trailers. Nostalgia can be okay like this in small doses. Okay, so later, a lot of people have speculated that Kylo Ren is, like, looking for Luke's, and as an extension, Darth Vader's original lightsaber that he lost when he was holding it in the hand that Vader cut off in Empire. See, I also kind of agree with this idea. It makes sense. After all, Ren did somehow get a hold of Vader's burned and melted helmet. I mean, he's very clearly trying to collect, like, Darth Vader stuff and do something with the dark side and those things and all that. So I think that the lightsaber will probably play an important point at some point in this movie. So it's then likely that the Knights of Ren are either aware of and respect the New Order, if not maybe completely in cahoots with them, sort of like how Vader worked with the Empire the way he did as their sort of super-powered high command. And okay, so, like, now we've got to, of course, address this fucking third-ass looking Death Star here. This is what people are saying is the Starkiller Base, and it's pretty obvious that it does some big red-colored explosion-y ass shit. I mean, and you know what? I ain't even mad. Because think about it. Despite it being dumb as fuck that they rebuilt the Death Star twice, it's not like building a sustainable superweapon isn't still a priority for anything that powerful. But this time, what I'm hoping for is that they make the superweapon a more than one movie endeavor. Like, maybe they don't blow it up at the end and it lasts throughout the new trilogy as a mainstay weapon. Don't have them overusing it, of course, but make it something, I don't know, too powerful to stop right away, so we know that there are real consequences if whatever actions happen in the movie don't happen correctly, or especially if they do go wrong. A new Death Star thing can work if you make it a palpable force that isn't constantly getting blown up, rebuilt, blown up, rebuilt, blown up, rebuilt ad nauseum. And I mean, that's really all I know about this story. Obviously, is it going to be good? That's still sort of speculative. Everything that I can take right now seems like it could go either one of two ways. It's either going to be really great because it's going to be this simple, like, basically episode 4 type story, or it's going to be really, really terrible, and it's going to feel like probably just fan fiction. So, we'll see. So anyway, finally, I guess I gotta address the technical stuff, because it's kind of important. For one, the cinematography in this trailer looks amazing. In all of the trailers, it looks amazing. It perfectly captures the feel and energy that the original trilogy had, while still being clean and modern enough to not just be a completely made for nostalgia reason type of production. Like, just because they're using the old stuff and the old methods doesn't mean they aren't still going to be able to rely on the new tricks in the book to make the film look just absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously, I'm super pumped we're using practical effects and makeups and set design. I've said it before to someone, and I'll say it here. If this movie does well, and I do mean critically, not just financially, because we know it's going to make a fucking bajillion dollars, alright? If this movie becomes the thing that people talk about and praise about constantly, and it shows that this kind of movie is actually what sells, a movie that, while is still a part of a franchise, sure, but it's crafted with care and love and art, and it's made while using all of the techniques from old times, you know, not just the new bullshitty ones like Jurassic World did. It might be able to spark a renaissance in filmmaking as an art. I mean, still, the industry is gonna chug on as it always does, but at least then it'll have been heard. We hated the prequels because they were shoddy CGI, but we loved the sequels because they were practical effects and real craftsmanship. That's a powerful message to send as the demographic that we are, and maybe we could see more movies like this made. Maybe they won't even have to be an existing franchise in the future. I mean, sure, it's a pipe dream, I won't lie, but it's a pipe dream worth getting excited for. And maybe the slog of shitty movies can finally be ended. Or at least, I mean, there can be more better movies at least being allowed to slip through the cracks now again. I mean, come on. They're making a 7th sequel to a Star Wars movie, and like, if it's good, maybe the industry can be like, oh shit, we gotta put some thought into even the sequels we make. What a novel concept. Now, also, the dialogue in this film seems like it should hopefully be genuine. I mean, Lawrence Kasdan, the original writer for Empire, is back doing the screenwriting for this film. I mean, that right there is already a plus for me. I mean, because basically you've got J.J. Abrams, a man who is a huge Star Wars fan, now acting as our George Lucas of this production. He's been able to distill all of the good ideas Lucas has had over the years into his own tastes. And now, as the fan, he can create whatever story he wants. But then you've got Kasdan, a competent writer who helped craft probably the greatest Star Wars ever known, and together you've got that perfect sense of check and balance that Lucas never had when he was making the prequels. I mean, look at this scene from a trailer.
You might need this.
I think I can handle myself.
That's why I'm giving it to you.
That sounds like a neat subversion of that typical line, and no less it's being given by the usual, smarmy Han Solo. I don't want to get my expectations up too high. I know it sounds like I'm doing that, but I really don't. I don't want to be swindled again like we were all with The Phantom Menace, but I guess what I'm trying to say is the trailers, especially the most recent trailer from October, has captured the energy and emotion that I love about the original Star Wars. I mean, they really seem to be hitting the mark correctly this time, and I think it can be safe to say that even if the new movies are terrible, they're still going to be a joy to sit through. I know the work of the people involved. I know that they all seem really confident that they're making a movie that they want to make, not just because they have to. And that's probably the best thing I can say right about now. People want this movie. Fans want it. The creators want it. And the universe wants it. We want good Star Wars, if anything, just to make up for the prequels. These aren't being made as a quick cash grab. I mean, sure, Disney and the studios totally have dollar signs in their eyes already, alright? But at the same time, they really don't have to make new movies to make money. They have the rights to one of the most successful toy franchises of all time. They could keep milking Star Wars toys alone for the next 100 years and retire for a millennium. But they understand their audience, and while Disney themselves probably more resemble a corporate version of the Empire than they do the Rebellion, they still are, for the most part, trustworthy enough in their creative enterprises to deliver some quality product. I mean, just look at what Pixar can usually... Cars 2, fuck those, but what they can usually create. So basically, my conclusion to this rant is this. You've seen everything I've had to say on the Star Wars saga over the past 4 months. I mean, I've explained to you in detail what it is I think makes those bad and makes them good, the prequels and the original trilogy, respectively. You understand now how that the emotions and the energy and the storytelling create the myth. And this new movie is the continuation of that myth. Don't let me lead you astray. Obviously, there's still a complete possibility that these movies could just fuck up entirely like the prequels did, and I'm not saying that that's not still entirely possible, and I'm waiting on bated breath to hopefully be proven wrong about that. What I'm trying to say is the only thing that the new Star Wars has to do, really, above all else, is make us feel like a kid again. Make us feel like that the year is 1999 again, and that I'm that first grader hearing about Star Wars for the first time again. Feel like it's that first time that I'm seeing that soft blue glow envelop around me as that transcending title dissolves once more on screen. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. One of the greatest film franchises in American cinematic history. I mean, Star Wars. Holy shit. I love Star Wars. Also, if the fucking movie starts and there's an explosion in the very beginning and I have to fucking say episode 7 starts with a bang, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself.